We are into moment generating function. We call it by its acronym MGF. Obviously, the name suggests what the function does. It gives us the moments. Given that the function that we are going to write, it exists for the said probability distribution. And there are many cases where it does not exist. For that, we have other ways. The most general is the characteristic function, which uses complex analysis, but then again, it's beyond our scope. For the timing, we will be concentrating on MGF only. And MGF by itself, it can give us not only raw moments for that matter, it can give us any moment around some origin. So for raw moments, the origin is 0. For central moments, as we know, the origin is arithmetic mean. Basically, it can give moments around about any A, so to say. Okay. So we'll start with the definition. So the MGF of an RV X, and we'll start with about origin. Then obviously we'll look into the formula if it changes from origin to some A, having the probability distribution Fx is given by, so we'll write it M, here the random variable X, and T. Later on it will be clear why this T is here, is equal to expectation e to the power Tx. So as you can understand, this expectation has to exist first of all. So MGF is basically taking expectation where you have a different function instead of x, and that function is e to the power Tx. So what do you do? If you have some specific random variable that is specific probability, this PDF or PMF, you put it in place of x. That's what you do. Okay. So for discrete, it will be sum over x e to the power Tx into Px. So it's same. It's just similar to any expectation Gx. Okay, with the exception that here Gx is pretty specific. Here Gx is e to the power Tx. That's it. Nothing more than that. So Px, and this is for discrete distribution. For continuous integration e to the power Tx, we are not putting any limit because the limit will be decided by the values taken by x. So if you want, you can put minus infinity to infinity, so to say, fx dx. So that is for continuous. Let us write continuous case. Where t belongs to R, real. So T is real. And obviously this assumption of convergence or this expectation exists is there. Okay. So this is the definition of MGF. Now we'll slightly work with this expectation e to the power Tx to show how the moments are basically derived. All right. Because from these structures, it is not really very clear how will you get the moments. Okay. So mxt is equal to e to the power expectation e to the power tx. And now if we extend this exponential following the E series, then it will be 1 plus tx plus t square x square by 2 factorial plus so on and so forth. We'll write another term t to the power r x to the power r by r factorial. So this is basically E series, right? Infinite series expectation. Now this structure is linear. That means expectation will enter this structure. As far as this constant is considered, we know that the expectation of that is will be the constant itself, because expectation c equal to c plus, so t into expectation x. So you can observe the mean here, first order raw moment, plus t square by 2 factorial, and then it becomes expectation x square. So you can observe the second order raw moment plus dot 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 plus t to the power r into r by r factorial into expectation x to the power r, which is rth order raw moment, plus dot dot dot. So we're going to introduce the symbols that you have learned. So t into mu1 dash plus t square divided by 2 factorial into mu2 dash plus dot 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 plus t to the power r factorial into mu r dash plus dot dot dot. So in general, we can write sum over r runs from 0 to infinity t to the power r by r factorial into mu r dash. Where obviously, you know, mu r dash is expectation x to the power r. Okay. So we have to write it where mu r dash, which is expectation x to the power r, is the rth order raw moment okay. So looking at this, we know how we are going to get the moments. So the coefficient of t to the power r divided by r factorial in mxt, that is the MGF, gives us mu r dash. So that's how essentially this mxt works, and you can really understand why the name is MGF, because it generates the moment. Okay. So just write a note. This note is actually very, very important. So differentiating, because sometimes you may have heard that finding moment from the MGF in one step or something. So that's not really in one step, so to say. But then again, differentiation gives us the moments directly. So how does it work? So differentiating the form of MGF with respect to t, that t which is real, t r times, and then putting t equal to 0 in the derivative, we get, so what do we get? We get this, right? So if we do dr mxt dtr d to the power r, and then if we evaluate this at t equal to 0, then basically the differentiation will go like this: mu r dash divided by r factorial into r factorial. So let us clarify what we are doing, right? So this is t to the power r, okay? So if we differentiate it r times, then this will become 1, correct? Okay. So mu r dash divided by r factorial plus, dot r factorial plus mu r plus 1 dash into t plus, I'm directly writing the result. You can actually differentiate and see the intermediary steps as well. T square 2 factorial plus dot dot dot. Okay. And obviously all of this is evaluated at t equal to 0, which will give you mu r dash. Okay. So in one line, what we can write is that hence mu r dash is equal to dr mxt dtr evaluated at t equal to 0. One thing you must note, that why we are putting this t equal to 0, it is because when I'm differentiating, first of all, this is an infinite series, right? So even at the rth differentiation, you will have all these rest of the terms. So putting t equal to 0 will make all of them 0, right? So that works for the first one also. If you try, if you try this dmxt dt, then also you can see, how it works, right? So there also you will have, or probably if I take squared, then it will be much more clear. What will happen is that t square will become 2t, right? Then this t will go away. On the first differentiation, it will be 2t by 2 factorial. And here you will have your mr double dash, mu 2 dash. Then in the next differentiation, this 2 will vanish. So you will have 2 by 2 factorial in mu 2 dash. Then this will become 1, much like here, r factorial and r factorial cancels and becomes 1. So we'll separate out mu 2 dash. But what will happen to these terms like this, 3 by t cube by 3 factorial, so on and so forth. So to make them vanish, you put t equal to 0. You put t equal to 0, terms like this will become 6t. So this will simply vanish. And what you have left is basically the second order raw moment. Okay. So this is the general expression for that. As I said, you can work it out for yourself and you can see. So this is how differentiating the MGF given a probability distribution, you can find the limit. If you want rth order, you differentiate r times. So if you want second, you differentiate twice. That's the idea. It's a pretty simple idea. Okay. But as we said, that MGF works for any A. So in general, the MGF of X about X equal to A is, so how will that work? So we'll write then mx minus a t. There's an easy way to write so that you remember how the function changes. So what does this mean? This means expectation e to the power t in bracket x minus a. Okay. So remember, this is not tx minus a, this is t into x minus a. All right. And then if you just expand using the following culture, it will be t into x minus a, then t square by 2 factorial x minus a whole square plus dot 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 t to the power r by r factorial into x minus a or r. So although the expressions are quite huge, the easier part is that if you know the E series, then, so let us write it mu1, let's write a here. No, that's not the idea, although mu2a per r factorial. So one of the advantage of using this structure is that it has the same pattern, because what we exploit here is the knowledge of E series, E exponential functions, infinite series structure. That's what we exploit. Okay. So why did we wrote this? To put it simply, to make you understand that now if we take x bar or expectation x itself instead of a, then from this sentence, sorry, or from this line, not sentence, this line, this expression, you can differentiate according to the according to the central moment that you want. Okay, so if you do that, then you will get your result. Okay. Now, obviously, MGF is not foolproof, as I said. If you have to complete the literature, then you need to extend it until characteristic function. But since since that is beyond our scope, we'll just be mentioning some of the limitations of MGF. Because that's important. So, limitations of MGF. Okay, so number one, an RV X may have moments undefined. An RVX may have moments undefined, although its MGF exists. This can happen. Okay. So, as for example, consider Px is equal to 1 by x into x plus 1, x is 1 comma 2 comma 3 comma. So this is a discrete series, discrete distribution, not series, sorry, discrete distribution, 0 otherwise. Okay. So now, if you calculate the expectation x, I am not be calculating, but if you calculate it, then you will find that this will become 1 sum over 1 by x, x runs from 1 to infinity, minus 1. Now, from our knowledge of series, what we know is that, so let us write it here. Now, sum over 1 by x is divergent. That is, expectation x does not exist. So if expectation x does not exist, there is no point of going further. But if you try to calculate the MGF for this one, which is a little bit lengthy exercise, but if you try to calculate this, then you will see that the MGF exists for t less than 0. Okay. So we will not be deriving the MGF. We are not really interested in that. What I'm trying to show you that first of all, if you have a PDF or PMF, and if you just go on finding the expectation x, keep in mind that just because a problem is given and you are asked to find the expectation does not mean that the expectation will exist. Okay, because see, this is a simple looking function. Second is that to find the expectation, you may have to use the knowledge of infinite series that you have studied in math. Third is, obviously, as an example of this thing, that although expectation is undefined actually because it does not exist, but the MGF exists. Okay, so let us go to the. So you may ask, if MGF has such a dangerous issues, then why we are interested in MGF at all? It is because for the standard distributions, many of the standard distributions, MGF works well, and that actually kind of does our job. Okay, so number 2. An RV X can have MGF, that is, the MGF exists for this, that's what we are trying to say, can have MGF and some or all moments. So not like this one, some or all moments. So they exist. And yet, the MGF will not, the MGF will not generate the moments. Okay. This problem can arise if we have an issue with the differentiation. So remember we said that if we have this mxt and if you want rth order moment, central or raw, whatever, about some origin or a number a, okay, we said that you have to differentiate it up to that order. So that differentiation itself can become problematic. So if it becomes problematic, then you have this scenario. You can construct actually PDFs or PMFs which will satisfy this, and they are pretty simple looking. But anyways, we are not going too deep of that. Just to be aware of what MGF does and does not. Again, an RVX can have all or some moments, but MGF may not exist. MGF may not exist. Okay. So now possibly you can understand why to have a complete knowledge studying the characteristic function is so important. Anyways, but that is for some later time. Okay. So now we'll go to properties of MGF. Now, these are not something that you cannot really derive, or these are not something which is going to really kind of make the derivation shorter. It's just to have a better look at how MGF works. So number one, which is pretty simple, is that M CXT, that is, if I multiply by some constant, then it becomes MX CT, C being a constant. So that's pretty simple because the expression will be e to the power t cx. So if c is a constant, it doesn't matter whether you write ctx or tcx. Okay, number two, the MGF of the sum of a number of independent all right, let's not write the English sentence, let us write it in a different way. That will be easier for you. So if x1 comma x2 comma dot 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 comma xn are independent RVs, then MGF, then MGF of their sum x1 plus x2 plus dot 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 plus xn is, so we'll write like this: m sum over xi then t is equal to, and because they are independent, it will be mx1t into mx2t dot 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 mxn t. Okay. Now, the third one, something that we are always interested in statistics, effect of origin, effect of origin and scale change. This is something that we have been interested in since we started measures of central tendency. Okay, so given an RV X, consider U is equal to X minus A by H, obviously where A and H are constants. Okay. Then MUT. So you can understand this is written about origin, right? So it is U, not U minus some A or U minus some B, not something like that. So MUT is equal to e to the power minus A into T divided by H. So minus AT divided by H into mx t by h. Okay, where again mxt is the mgf around the origin. Now, if you write it at like this, it seems that, oh, it looks like a difficult expression, but it is basically not. What are you doing? We are basically taking e to the power tx, then you write, instead of x, you write t into a plus hu. Okay. So then e to the power at will automatically come. So to adjust this expression, what you do is, right, into e to the power h. So then basically you take them on the other side. You take them on this side to adjust. That's it. So that's how it becomes minus and division. Okay. So this is how it works. If you change the origin and scale, that's how it behaves. So two things that we take from our study of MGF is that, first of all, is that we exploit our knowledge of infinite series structure of exponential or exponential series. Right? That's the first thing that we must understand. Second thing is that we differentiate to get the moments. Third thing is that as long as these functional changes are concerned, you multiply it by c, multiplied by some x, take minus from a or something, okay? Dealing with them is not difficult at all, as long as you remember that in MUT or MXT, here everywhere, you to keep to solve the problems correctly, you have to write the x minus a or something here, so that you don't forget that when I'm writing e to the power, then t multiplied by whatever written here. So that's an easy way to kind of solve the problems correctly. Okay. Okay. Lastly, we'll look at one result which actually kind of justifies all of the things that we have done here. The result goes like this. The MGF of a distribution, comma, we saw that this is quite important. If it exists, so if it exists, uniquely determines the distribution. So, to reiterate, let me write another sentence. Corresponding to a given PDF or PMF, there exists only one MGF. And corresponding to a given MGF, there exists only one PDF or PMF. So, which basically means that is MXT equal to MYT implies and implied by X is equal to Y, or X and Y are identically distributed. So this is the reason that we are interested in MGF so much, because we saw earlier that if we go for the moments, then the moments, they don't define the PDF or the distribution uniquely. They define a family of distribution. We talked about Pitman and exponential family. So the knowledge of the moments gives us a family of distribution, but we fail to identify exactly which distribution we are talking about. But if we are talking about MGF, then we know that given the MGF, we are talking about only one PDF or PMF, and this uniqueness goes both ways. So that's something that is very, very useful, specifically when you are in inference. Okay.